Hey everybody, I am live here again on Wednesday for number 2 of 4, The Truth About Joy. My name is Michelle Boulay. I am a transformational life coach, a healer, and a dancer. I'm live on Instagram and on Facebook here to address this question, one of my favorite questions about how to bring more joy into your life. I do this in offerings like this, these free workshops and lives that I do, but also in my private coaching, in my monthly subscription program, and in my online group programs, and in things like the live retreat that I'm doing this July called Receive, Renew, Recreate. Hello people, thank you for joining. So I want to, what I love helping people do is just get to the root of this issue. Why are you not experiencing the joy, the connection, the prosperity, the creativity, the fulfillment in your life? Because I do believe very firmly, and I see this, I help my clients move into this, again, in my group work, in my private coaching, and in the retreat, which you don't want to miss, to be live with me. I'm going to be talking about connection today. This summer. It's a small group. We have some spots left. So I really want to make sure if that's something you're interested in, you make sure you contact me and join me for Receive, Renew, Recreate. So just to come back to this, learning how to find your joy is crucial. It's a process. We come out like, like happy. And then we learn all these codes of behavior. You should be like this. You shouldn't do this. This is what happens to this is what a successful person is. This is a person who makes money. This is, just like all these labels around limitations actually, around who we truly are. And the reason I know this is because when people come to work with me, they might be exhausted. They might be creatively frustrated. They might not have enough money or enough free time to really be doing the thing that they want. Sometimes people say that they don't even know what they want. And that's the one where I think I talked about this last week too, where I'm like, I don't know about that. I think you actually do. But were you given the permission and the space and the invitation to experience that? And the reason that is so important, again, is because knowing what you want helps you see who you are. And unless you know who you are, you will create a life based on everyone else's paradigms. And guess what that leads to? A not very joyful life. Our life is meant to be creative. It's meant to be, it's a beautiful sunny day here where I'm talking in Montana. But there's cloudy days too, but we can ride those days with full acceptance, which allows us to experience joy. And I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about connection and sacrifice. And then I have a question from Masha, who I see is live here on Facebook, and we're going to talk about that, your question, a little bit too, because it relates to these two things. Joy, right? Connection is a huge one right now because we've been like screening it for the past year plus, and we've been like screening it in this way too. And in some ways, it's been a beautiful tool because I can do something like this. I can be here. I can talk to you. I work with my private clients, I work with my group clients all online like this, and we have a good time together. We can establish that place of connection. But what I'm talking about is having you look at your life, and are you giving yourself the time, the space, investing in yourself to make sure that you are nurturing what is necessary, the listening that is necessary for you to be able to make decisions that help you live the life that you want to live. That's a quiet voice. And why, I'm saying the screening, it's like, this. The beauty is like I can do something in China tonight. I can do something in Ireland tomorrow. I can be teaching a class in New York. I'm doing that in June, but from here, and May also. But it's just like, are you taking the time to really deeply listen? To really deeply listen to who it is or who you are and what you want. A lot of times I work with people who say, well, I'm really good at taking care of everything else. I'm really good at tending to this and that. And I like even people who have created amazing things in their lives. And then there's still an emptiness. They're still perhaps looking for approval from someone else, not being connected to that within themselves. And part of that, again, is they're fulfilling everyone else's agenda and not their own. Part of that boils down to, again, do you know who you are? Are you giving yourself time to listen to, I really want to do this. I see this thing and I know this is calling me. How do I get there? You have to say yes. You have to start saying yes. And in that way, you start to connect to that part of yourself. You start to allow, it's like a little door that starts to open up. But it does not start to open up until you start to say yes, until you start to deeply connect. And I'll just share for me personally, because this is related to the question from Masha. I knew that my life had reached a point. I was living in New York, and it had reached a point where I felt like I had the success I wanted as a dance artist, as a teacher. My healing business that I had at that point been running for like about 12 years was going well. But I just knew there was something more, and I had to listen, and it took me a long time. I mean, not that long. I had been constantly regularly for nearly 2 decades, always investing in myself, always studying, always doing healing work, different programs, spending a lot of money on myself. Like it was like my school. And it's funny because I just led this group of people through Creative People Making Money. I see some of them on here. And it's like, did you learn, we can learn how to do things. I can learn how to make great art. I can learn how to run it, like be a doctor or whatever it is, lead a business. But did I learn how to live my life? Did I learn how to listen to myself? Because yes, there are systems and ways to do things, but there's also the truth of who you are and how you want to create your life. So if I go back to my story, what happened was I was like, I love this life, but I am not 100% happy. And part of it was I wanted to earn more money. I was like, I don't want to spend time like 40 hours writing a grant that I may or may not get. I want to be able to take a vacation. I want to be able to buy a house. I was like locked in the place that I owned because I didn't even make enough money to get a mortgage. I wanted to be able to hire a dancer and pay her the money that I wanted to, and not just limit myself to trying to get a grant or what I saw as the current reality of what my life could be. So I had to listen to that. And it was like, oh God, okay, that means I have to then invest this much money with this person that has been trying to like bring me in as a coaching client. And I can tell you the second I did that, my life changed. The second I did that, the second I really listened to that voice and committed, I really connected in. And I took a moment because I know it's so common. A person will hear their truth and then they'll be like, distraction, screen. And that's what it's like, I love doing that with a person, helping you be in the space where transformation is possible. That's what I loved as an artist. I was always like, how can we remind ourselves of our potential? How can we remind ourselves that there is more possibility than what you might see right now? We see a limited version of life. And you know what that does? It means you live a limited version of yourself sometimes. And it's a really good question to ask yourself. Am I living a limited life? Are you really feeling juicy, feeling creative, feeling abundant, feeling prosperous? Because if you desire it, it is totally possible, but it will take some time, some attention, some work. It'll probably cost you some money. You know, as I said, I was in a piece in 2007 that premiered at the Brooklyn Academy of Music with John Jaspers, and he did this thing where he was reading statistics in the beginning, and one of the statistics was Michelle Boulay spent like $2,400 on food in the year of 2006. And in that same year, she spent $9,000 on coaching, healing, and related services, like all the work that I was doing to study, because I made it a priority. And that's the only way for me that I was able to grow and learn and do what I love, which is help other people do the same thing. To learn, to see, okay, this is what it takes to grow. And, you know, the people I've been working with lately, okay, this is what you say you want to put your creative work out in the world. You say you want to have more time as a mom to yourself. You say you want to love your job. This is what you have to do. These are the steps. And actually, it's more like they know what they have to do. And I hold, like they say that, and I'm like, okay, well, let's keep the excuses out of the way. Where are you telling yourself a lie where this is not true? Because whenever we're stuck on something, or whenever an excuse comes up and it keeps cycling us back to be stuck in the same place, it's because some part of that is a lie. And if we don't have someone on the outside at times to show us that truth, it can be very hard to get to the next place. Because we lie to ourselves a lot. because that's what we were given. Like, one common one is there's not enough money in the world. I don't have enough, and this is what I worked on with 10 weeks for these people. Some people quadrupled and their monthly income. One client from that program emailed me the other day and said, I don't think I have to worry about money again ever in my life. Booyah! That one got a lot of hearts. And so that, going back to my story of like, when I really decided, I had been doing, back in 2007, I was spending like $9,000 a year in work on self-improvement. If some of you knew what I was spending this year, you might think I was crazy. But I know part of that is investing in my joy and investing in myself and investing in what I want to grow and contribute in the world. And I need good people around me to help me do that, because it's whenever you want to grow, there's something that you don't have right now in your life. You need something else to be able to grow. And that can be a person, that can be a program, that can be a book. But you gotta do the work. You can find everything for free on the internet, right? But you gotta do the work. So sometimes that's where a person comes in and can be really particular for you. What are you not seeing here? Again, so your life can be juicy. So it can be creative. So it can have joy. So part of what I'm talking about here is also what is called the law of sacrifice. This is one of the 7 universal laws. These are part of every major religion and science. And they're a great thing to learn about. I work a lot with my clients with these laws a lot. And in my group programs, I bring them in all the time because they help you correct your thinking so that you can see a solution, so that you can create the life that you desire. And there is one called the law of sacrifice. And I love this one because what it means... Hi, Tiger 9000. What it means is that applying it to this, what we're talking about, joy here, is that to get to the next level of your life, you have to let go of something. You have to, I would say this to, if you're a person who wants to raise your rates, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to let go of that small person who doesn't believe there's enough money. That limited belief. The small person, I would say, who doesn't believe in their product or their service or their art or whatever it is. That needs to go. That can't be a part of the new person or the new life you're trying to create. If you want to find a great relationship where you feel you're in your fullness. When you're interacting with someone, you got to let go of that part that says, I am not enough. Ugh, it's like I'm sinking in my chair as I say that. That needs to go. The part that says, well, let me take whatever's here. If you want to build your business, bring more money in, you got to let go of the part that cuts all the coupons and tries to take the shortcuts. I said that to one of my clients who quadrupled his income in the program that we did. He's like, do you offer discounts? I was like, hell no, because you deserve more than that. You are better than that. I'm not going to do a discount on my service to you. You know, I don't think I said hell no to him, but I could now. And I stopped doing that. I can tell you, back in 2007, when I was still spending like $9,000 on personal development work, I was cutting the coupons. I was looking for the sales, but that meant that I lived a life that was from that place, right? Like that there wasn't more possible than that I had to save, that I had to like find the best deal. And I realized, oh my God, I'm like wasting my time also trying to do everything. Then you know, it wasn't until I really started diving into coaching and looking at prosperity and studying joy from another level. I was like, oh, I have to be able to say, I want this, and become the person who can have it. I want to be able to have a more than, you know, a 6-figure income. I want to be able to take a vacation. I want to have this time off. I wanted to talk to more people. I wanted to connect to more people. I wanted to connect to you and share this work in a different way. And what I saw was limited. So I needed to bring someone in to show me what I wasn't seeing. So what did I have to let go of? My judgment around spending a bunch of money to hire a coach. I didn't tell my family. I was like, I can't tell anybody. I didn't tell my best friends. It took me a while to really accept that. To be able to say that this is what I did, but it is the law of sacrifice, right? I had to let go of the part of myself that believed that was wrong, that believed that this person was stealing my money. And some people know that as soon as I made that first payment to do coaching on another level, I was like, oh my God, I just got duped. Because that was my programming, right? Like that it wasn't the right step. But I can't tell you how much it changed my life, and how much I see that with people who look at it relative to what it's costing you to not do that. What is it costing you to stay in your job and be working way too long? Another day, another week, another month. What is it costing your relationships with your kids, with the people you love? What is it costing your health? What is it costing you to not know how to connect, right? And part of that connecting is, who are you? Who are you? Like, I say it like that because I love welcoming a person in. Who are you? I want to see. God, it like almost moves me to tears, because I love seeing that in a person, because you see the person light up. Who are you? What do you love? What are you here to do? Now let's do it. How can I help you with this? If you did not have a parent who was doing that with you, I mean, geez Louise, it has been one of the best investments for me. I love my parents. They are fantastic. But I didn't always get that. I mean, they did let me dance. Yay, thank you. And then I had to sneakily in college, when I started dancing again, not tell them that I was taking dance classes and be like, okay, I got a scholarship, like, you don't have to pay for it anymore. But you know, out of their love, they're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be a dancer? How are you gonna pay a bill? You're so smart. You should do this. And I'm going to get to Masha's question also, because it's related to being an artist and also being a coach and a healer. But so, you know, it's just like going back to sacrifice. You're going to have to let go of something. You're going to have to let go of something of a lower nature to get to a higher nature. You cannot be a person who has not forgiven yourself or forgiven other people to be able to then step into the next level of your life, to be able to give more and also be able to receive more. That has to go. Any shame or guilt, that's something I help people a lot with too. This is one of the best ways I've heard this talked about, that like shame and guilt are completely useless emotions because you're trying to change something that happened in the past. Let's look at the past. Let's see what could have been done differently. Forgive is really, and then move forward to give to life again. And I did the work on that myself, and I do it with my clients. It's like, okay, what, like, go back, let's bring you back. You're still trying to beat yourself up for that thing you did. Let's let it go and let you move forward. I can't tell you what a powerful experience it is to be able to remove that weight. And I can't wait to do this with people in July in person, not on the Zoom room. I mean, we've been doing a great job on the Zoom room. But again, like if you're interested in that retreat, please let me know. Get in touch with me. We're going to move. We're going to meditate. I'm going to coach people. I'm going to do healing work with people in the group and one-on-one. And you're going to be surrounded by one of the most beautiful places, healing land, that I've encountered in this country. And I've been around the block. So there's that. Please let me know if that's something you're interested in doing. Okay, so to close up today, I want to speak to Masha's question. I don't know if you're still on Masha, but she sent me this question. I'm not seeing any questions pop up in the comments right now, but if there is something, let me know. And if we don't get to it today, we can get to it next week. But Masha asked me a question on how because I think maybe Masha, you've known me as a dancer, and how have I dealt with this or worked with this? I'm here, she says, okay. How have I worked with this also with my coaching and healing work? First thing I'll say is it came from, and I alluded to this story a little bit earlier, I saw my life as a dancer. I was happy with it. I was satisfied with it, but I also was starting to be like, listening, giving myself time and space to listen. One of the things I did at the end of 2018 was I calendared off 5 weeks at the end of that year to go to a healing training, source point therapy, one of my favorites. I've done 3 modules of that training. And then I went to Bali. I did a yoga training actually, just to get to Bali and be with people. And then I had time off, and then I went to the Philippines, and I also had time off there, but I also was leading, helping with the body talkers there, doing some work there. But I had to give myself that time to be away, to be able to listen. I knew I needed to change the direction of my life. And I knew that, this is a saying maybe some of you have heard me say, nothing changes if you keep making the same decision. If you keep, what I want to say, like saying, like an opportunity presents itself and you keep saying no, that won't change anything, right? Like to be able to see that opportunity and this time to be able to jump on it and go for it, that will change something. If you continue to, be in your partnership or try to create partnership without being really honest with yourself, that needs to change, or you will keep creating partnership and connection that doesn't feel honest. And guess what? When it's not based on truth, it always falls apart. Truth wants to be here. It will fall apart. The good thing about that is you get another chance, hopefully. And this is something that's really important too. How long are you going to wait before you do the thing that you know you're called to do? What is that costing you? Every second turns into a minute, turns into an hour, a day, a week, a year, a lifetime. So I knew for myself, after taking that time, that I needed to leave New York. And that it was shortly after that I really started diving into working with someone who could help me make more money. And I had to work through a bunch of belief systems around that. All the judgment, all the fear. What are people going to think? This is what a person, like, this is what having money means. And, you know, one of the things I love about this, and back into, I mean, I started doing holistic healing work back in like or approaches to the body back in like 1997. I started, I was regularly getting sessions and taking courses and stuff from when I moved to New York in 1999. And then in 2007, I really started diving into the energy medicine, and that changed my perception of reality. And then this changed my perception of reality again to study new ways of thinking, to study universal law. And I'm saying this because all of it to me feels like dancing. I am a dancer. I know I'm a dancer, like through and through and through. And part of what I've had to sacrifice, and it's interesting because it kind of flowed for me. I was like, I need to get a little quieter in my dance world. I started saying no to jobs, like repeatedly, taking myself out of things that I had said yes to, because I had been training myself to listen, and I was working with someone who was really encouraging me to listen. And as I've done that, I took the time to build a multi-six-figure business. That meant I wasn't dancing quite as much. And actually one of my clients had this question, well, what am I supposed to, like, I feel like I should be in the studio, but now I want to be like doing this study with you. And I was like, sometimes you have to let something go temporarily to learn something new. And you have to keep in check. Are you taking care of your soul while you're doing that? If you are a creative being, I have had to keep this in check and learn lessons the hard way. Am I taking care of my creative self? Am I taking care of my body? Getting enough sleep? All those things. But I knew I had a goal of wanting to learn about money and wanting to learn how to create that. And what that really responds to is you become an adult, right? Like you're claiming the authority in your life. I know how to do this. I was like, these systems of being an artist and making money suck. I want to figure out another way. And that's why I created that 10-week program to help people do that. Like, there is a whole other way to do this. And we keep like these blinders on our eyes because we think that's going to keep us safe. But it's like, to start to see that there are other ways of doing things. So I have not let go of being a dancer. I'm supposed to be doing a project in Spain whenever the borders open. I let myself like have these creative brewings going on. Thanks, Marion, for the high five. But this is creative work to me. This is my research. Like even the healing work that I was doing, that was my research also for life. I like some of my favorite artists that I've collaborated with. Curtis Tam was a composer who worked with me. Daryl Jones is an amazing dancer I got to work with the choreographer B.B. Miller. I was like, I said this to Daryl. We were at the U.S. We were in Washington, D.C. getting prepped to go on a South American tour at the embassy or something. I can't remember. Some state building, department building. I don't know. And I was like, Daryl, I love that your life is your artwork. And he's like, Michelle, I can't believe you're saying that to me. And I think the exact same thing about you. And I was like, like that, to have that mirrored back. And I think, like your life, I work on this in my movement practices with people. Your life is meant to be a poem. It is meant to be a dance. It is meant to be a song. But we're not always taught how to sing it and what that takes. And it will take sacrifice. It will take letting go of these belief systems that are no longer, you see, it makes me almost cry, no longer letting you grow. It will take, some things that may seem hard at first, saying no to your kids, saying no to the person that asks this of you, saying yes to the thing that you really want, which means you're saying no to something else. But that has to happen if you want to grow. So, Shelley Ware, thank you for the heart. Nice to see you. I have to like the other day I posted, I was making some juice and I was like, this is so pretty. All this, these orange peels and these carrots and this ginger and this turmeric. And it's like, your life is meant to be a beautiful creation. I really believe that. When you give yourself the time and the space, when you invest in yourself, to have other people also help you do that, because it is a communal affair. Shelley says shedding. Yeah, it's like snakeskin, or just like loofah, like get that stuff off that doesn't need to be here anymore, so you can bring some fresh stuff in. It's your digestive system. You let stuff go to be able to bring something new in. So for Masha's question, like, how do you combine this? I saw this this confusion around, well, I want to be this, or I want to be a healer, but I'm also an artist, but I want to hide things. Masha, what I think is happening for you is you're still hiding. You can tell me what you think about that. So I'm giving you the challenge, and anyone else who's listening to that, to come out of that little basket. If you want to be a healer, if you want to be an artist, if you want to be a fantastic parent, a person in a fantastic relationship, you have to shed, I'm going to use Shelley's word, you have to shed that stuff that is keeping you not having that right now. You have to go through that process. If you want to make more money, you have to really be committed. Make the decision first. Okay, I'm going to do this. In that commitment, in choosing a path, being strategic about it, right? So that's how something happens. You commit and you set up a strategy. That's how a person grows their business. That's how I, like when I'm working with someone, I'm like, okay, well, what needs to happen now to grow into this person, to become, to have, to receive what you want in life. Masha says, I wasn't, but I went to hiding and I'm back out, but kind of not clear. Yeah, and that's the other thing I was going to say, Masha. It's about the honest clarity. That's how you're going to get to your joy. You have to be really honest about what you want. And I can't tell you how helpful it is to have someone who just says, what do you want? What do you want? Look at Facebook. What do you want? Instagram. What do you want? You. What do you want? Who are you? Who are you truly through and through? And let's start to let you feel safe in wanting that. Let's start to help you make decisions that allow that to come through. Instead of bringing in, well, this is why it can't, this is why it can't, this is, these are the problems, here's why it can. Here's why it can. So it's about clarity. And I work on that every single day. Hey, Michelle, what do you want? Okay, if I know this is what I want, and then I know this is what it's going to take, and I'm willing to do that. And then if it's not going as planned, I know how to think about it. I know who to reach out to. I have my support teams, because I need them for sure. Like I don't have all this stuff figured out. Like I have people around me that will help me grow. And sometimes I know what I need, but just like having someone there to help hold me in that space it just makes all the difference. So that point of connection, right? Like I can help you see you. As I said, that I can help you see you. If you and I do work, I see Masha said something about introversion. And I've definitely worked with people who have big dreams and goals, but they feel like they're introverted. You don't have to be an extrovert. I've done work with people where it's and this is something I'll be able to do at the retreat too, really deeply, because we're going to be in person. We're going to be a small group of people. And there's always a magic, a synergy that happens between the people who come together. The thing you want is going to ask you to make different decisions in your life. I've helped people see, okay, yeah, I am introverted, but there's a turnaround in there. When you go in and work on that inner child, there's a turnaround in there. She feels seen and safe and loved and held. And then, I was able to support a person through this who is now having a lot of success in her career. And man, that makes me smile, just to like see all of this talent, all of this creativity now being able to go into the world, to be expressed, to receive payment for it, her gift. But you have to make the choice first that I am going to honor this. I am going to connect to myself, and I'm going to sacrifice. I like to do Rite of Spring. If you know Stravinsky. If you don't, you're probably like, what's Michelle doing? But like, you sacrifice that part of yourself that can't be a part of your new chapter. With love, with grace, with gratitude. And you let it go. And you find your joy in a different way. So if you're interested in doing this with me, I think that one of the best options that I'm super excited about is being able to connect again in person, to move again, to talk about these things, to work through them one-on-one and in a group. Here in Montana, it's up that way, July 1st through the 6th at Receive, Renew, Recreate. So you can bring in, I want to say bring in, first, you get to know who you are. And once that's clear and you know what you're asking for of the world, and we're clearing out the stuff that's blocking that, la 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 la. It's like it just starts coming towards you in a different way. To be able to understand that process, to be held in a supportive community, to do that. Get in touch with me, let me know. That's a beautiful option. Doing my monthly subscription program, Meditate, Move, Heal, or doing private coaching. So just let me know. I am here to help you discover your truth about joy. So send me a DM, share this with anyone you think it could help, and I hope you have a most joyful Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know that song too? I'm a performer. I reference things like this. So that's it for today. Truth about joy. Come back next week. If you have any questions that you want me to address, let me know. I got a laugh over there. You're welcome. And we'll be back. And if you want to join the retreat, let me know, because the spots are filling up and I want to make sure you get one if you want to be there. I know, and I, of course, I'm always willing to help you see if this is the right way to be spending your time and your resources and your money. All right, everybody, have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye. Where's the end? Here it is.